And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday. It's the 12th of March, 2020. It's the birthday of Jack Kerouac, born Lowell, Massachusetts, 1922. Grew up in a working-class French-Canadian family, grew up speaking French, was not fluent in English until he was a teenager. He was a star football player, got a scholarship to Columbia University, and there he met Allen Ginsberg and William S. Burroughs and Neal Cassady. He became close friends with Cassady and wrote his novel On the Road about trips he had taken with Neal Cassady. He started collecting material for the novel as far back as 1948. He described it in his journal as two guys hitchhiking to California in search of something they don't really find and losing themselves on the road and coming all the way back hopeful of something else. He collected notes for years and then sat down to write it in April 1951, typing it on draft paper, translucent paper, which he taped together. Started writing it on April 2nd, finished it on the 22nd. And he wrote a note to Neal Cassady, story deals with you and me and the road. Went fast because the road is fast. Wrote whole thing on strip of paper, 120-foot long tracing paper, just rolled it through typewriter, and in fact no paragraphs, rolled it out on floor, and it looks like a road. The book was rejected again and again, but in 1957 was published by Viking Press. It got mixed reviews, but it sold very well, and its success enabled Kerouac to come out with other novels in the years immediately following: The Dharma Bums, Dr. Sachs, Visions of Cody, and Big Sur. It's the birthday of the playwright Edward Albee, born 1928, author of The Zoo Story, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Me, Myself, and I. It's the birthday of the poet Naomi Shihab Nye, born St. Louis, 1952, her father Palestinian, her mother American. Naomi Shihab Nye, who said, "Poetry calls us to pause. There is so much we overlook while the abundance around us continues to shimmer on its own." And it was on this date in 2009 that the financier Bernard Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 felony counts in the largest financial embezzlement and fraud case in the history of Wall Street. He admitted to conning thousands of investors out of nearly $50 billion. And at the age of 71, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison. And it's the birthday of Dave Eggers, born Boston, 1970, grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. He was a student at the University of Illinois when both his parents died of cancer in 1991. And he dropped out of college, moved to California with his 8-year-old brother, Christopher, set out to raise him, made his living as a writer and a graphic designer, and described the experience in his book, A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius, which was a huge success when it came out in 2000. Here's a poem for today by Robert Frost, A Time to Talk. When a friend calls to me from the road and slows his horse to a meaning walk, I don't stand still and look around on all the hills I haven't hoed and shout from where I am, "What is it?" No, not as there is a time to talk. I thrust my hoe in the mellow ground, blade end up and 5 feet tall, and plod I go up to the stone wall for a friendly visit. Robert Frost's A Time to Talk. That's the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, March the 12th. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.